When we imagine the Ice Age, we usually picture people hiding in caves. But some of them were doing something much smarter. They were building homes. Not homes like ours. No doors, no windows, no clean wooden floors. From outside, they could look rough, low, and almost animal-like. But step inside, and the story changes. Because inside that cold little shelter, there was order, warmth, work, storage, rest, family. This was not just a place to hide from snow. It was a survival machine, built by people who understood every corner mattered. The first thing you would notice was the fire, not a campfire for mood. The hearth was the heart of the house. It gave heat. It gave light. It cooked food. It dried wet clothing. It helped prepare tools. And in darkness, it kept fear away. Around that fire, tired bodies came back to life. Hands warmed. Children stayed close. Smoke climbed slowly into the frozen night. But the most human detail was near the wall. Bedding, grass, hides, and soft material arranged where people could sleep close to warmth. That one detail changes everything. They were not simply dropping to the ground. They were making a sleeping zone. A bed does not need to be modern to be meaningful. A bed means someone looked at the cold floor and said, "We can make this better." Now look to another side of the house. Here, the floor is not for sleeping. This area is busier, messier, more practical. Small plant remains, grinding stones, seeds, dust, hands crushing wild grains or roots into food that could keep the family alive. Most people think Ice Age food was only meat, mammoth, deer, bone, blood. But inside the home, you find another story. Plants were sorted, grains were processed, food was prepared with patience. This was not just hunting, this was household work. And near the entrance, another zone appears. Tiny stone flakes scattered on the ground, broken chips, sharp edges, tool-making waste. This was the workshop corner. Blades were shaped here, spear points repaired here, scrapers sharpened for hides, meat, wood, and bone. Maybe this area was near the entrance because light came in there. Maybe because sharp waste was safer away from sleeping bodies. Either way, the message is clear. These houses had zones. Rest here, cook here, work here, store there. That sounds simple. But in the Ice Age, simple systems could decide who survived the winter and who did not. Because outside this shelter, the world was not gentle. Wind could cut skin, food could disappear, wet clothing could become dangerous. So clothing had its own place inside the house. Hides, fur layers, stitched seams, belts, and wet outer skins dried near the fire. This was not crude fur thrown over the body. Bone needles, sinew thread, and fitted layers made clothing into technology. A sleeve, a seam, a tight boot, a fur-lined hood. These were not fashion extras. They were life-saving design. Now look upward. Food may have been kept away from dirt. Tools stayed within reach. Firewood or fuel had to stay dry. Outside or nearby, storage pits could hold supplies. That means these people were not only thinking about tonight. They were thinking about next week, the next storm, the next failed hunt, the next hungry child. And in some Ice Age landscapes, the walls themselves were shocking. Mammoth bones, tusks, skulls, ribs, and long bones shaped into shelter. It sounds like fantasy, but it was practical. In places with little wood, huge bones became building material. Heavy, strong, and already there. Imagine sleeping inside a wall made from the animal your group once feared, hunted, butchered, carried, and depended on. That house was not just shelter, it was memory. Every bone in the wall carried a story of danger, teamwork, and food. But not every bone circle was a simple family home. Some were bigger, stranger, and harder to explain. Some massive mammoth bone structures may have been meeting places, storage spaces, ritual spaces, or shelters used again and again. That mystery actually makes the Ice Age more interesting. These people did not have one lifestyle. They adapted again and again. And even in all this cold, work, hunger, and smoke, beauty still found a place inside. Small beads, carved patterns, ochre, animal figures, personal ornaments, things that did not just keep the body alive, but kept the mind alive. That is the part we forget. Ice Age people were not only surviving, they were decorating, teaching, repairing, remembering, and belonging. So what was really inside an Ice Age house? Not just smoke, not just bones, not just dirt under tired feet. Inside was a system, a hearth, a sleeping place, a food zone, a tool corner, stored supplies, drying clothes, family life. Outside, the Ice Age was trying to kill them. But inside, humans were quietly inventing one of the strongest survival tools ever made,